Okay, now, you know, some people may not believe it, but we laugh at church, we cry at church, we sing at church. I found somebody called Bishop Shacklefoot or something as such. Come here. Why are you hiding? You weren't hiding 5 minutes ago. Okay, now you have to be in character, yes? Bishop Shacklefoot meet the world.
Good evening.
He doesn't have the wig on, but trust me, you're going to see the clip yourself. YouTube sensation right here. How did Bishop Shacklefoot come about?
Well, actually, I'm just kind of ended up being his personal assistant, but I'm that close with him that very often I'm quite good at taking him off. Kind of know how he thinks, kind of know how he feels. Bishop Shacklefoot kind of started probably in fact, a long time ago, in the secret of a front room. Someone used to play with a video camera and used to meet people off. So I used to take off people in my family and my mother-in-law, my dad, and people in the church. And at one particular time, somehow my father-in-law saw this video and decided that he wanted that to happen in his senior service at church. I was like, you got to be mad, that's not happening. So he eventually managed to talk me around and I did it, and it's kind of gone on from there. And then I used to do, I work quite a lot in youth, so we used to have youth retreats and that sort of stuff, and so I used to always kind of head most of that up. And then, and so out of that, I used to just mimic people in church, and then it's just kind of cottoned on, and then people kind of asked me to do it from time to time, and then Bishop Shacklefoot come on from there. The name actually, I have to admit, comes from a family friend of ours. His name was Shacklefoot, and one particular day he came to visit at my mother-in-law's, and someone asked him who his name was, and he said Shacklefoot, but someone thought he said Shacklefoot, and we were in stitches, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use that, and so that's kind of where it came from.
What I like about it is, I think, again, we have this myth that church is serious,
sure.
No laughing, no talking, no giggling, you're here to worship. Now, again, with the Melek Assembly, you guys have put the fun back into worship. And in your sketch, yes, it is funny, but you're also telling a message.
Yeah, I mean, it's twofold the way I kind of do it. It's mixed up of a couple of things. Culture, for anyone that's kind of old school church. And the reason why I kind of use the culture is because we've all got that dad or mum or grandfather or someone that we know of, a family friend that's kind of just a bit raw like that, you know, and even the way they use scripture is kind of really simple, you know, so, and they kind of will come up with a story or a translation of it that really doesn't kind of match, but you get the gist of it, and it's just so far out there that you think, gosh, how did you get to that, you know, and so I just kind of play on those things.
So tonight he's saying, light of the world. I think I hear that song tonight. Light of the world, you came down here from darkness. Even down here to darkness. Open our eyes, let us see. Where are you looking? What is your interest? Are you alright where you are? Or will you switch off? Serious matters. Because it's better that if you're off, everything around you is destructive. Can't see. Just a trip up and a pile up and a crash. I tell you where I come from at night time, it's pitch black. Can't see. Sometimes I walk home late from church at night. And the beanie we used to use to see where I go. So no, go beanie fly. So a little fly with little light on that bottom. And it still fly through the night. And sometimes if we run off that catch it. If we're not careful, fall down in a pit. But Jesus comes here in our lives today and wants to prevent us from falling in the pit. Put up your hand when you're leaving, sister, have some manners.
So, your material, do you how do you come? Obviously, it's day-to-day stuff. Do you pick it for your surroundings, or do you always have a certain?
I think
What I
at
mean
the
by
big.
surroundings, the people around you. Do you pick it?
Well, I kind of play with it sometimes because, culture has a kind of a hard way of doing that. I mean, it kind of sometimes depends because I have actually done Shacklefoot, not necessarily in a Christian or church setting, and that's kind of where the culture becomes important. But then also, there's a familiarity that we've all kind of been at church at some point, so we kind of understand. But it's those simple things, as growing up as kids, there was a certain way we had to be around the dining table, and that would happen anywhere, whether you're on a bus or at church, and so you just kind of play with that. And then if the crowd's really into it, you can do it all night because then you can just play with, you'll always get someone that will shout something out or do something that you can kind of just improvise on.
So, for anyone who wants to book you or find out more about you, how do they do that?
To be honest, I purposely don't walk with cards and stuff. Most of what I do becomes word of mouth. So that's kind of how I do
So
it.
we're gonna if you YouTube him, trust me, there's gonna be some YouTube clips of this gentleman in the next couple of days. Trust me when I say this, okay? So we can YouTube Bishop Shacklefoot.
Bishop Shacklefoot.
Not
yeah.
Ford.
Foot. F-ho-ho-T, as he would say.
Yes.
So,
we thank you.
pleasure. Real pleasure.
Again, you told a story, but you made us laugh.
That's what it's all
And
about.
God loves
That's what it's
laughter,
all-
right?
That's right. That's right.
Thank you
It
very
helps.
much.
It helps to laugh, and I think that's probably the biggest joy out of it is that people get to enjoy it. And surprisingly enough, people actually remember the stories, and as long as they can get something positive out of it, that's what it's all about.
Light
So
on, light on.
that's it. What kind of light are you? Is what Bishop Shacklefoot would say. Are you on or are you off? Huh? You decide. On, off. All right. Good night.
Thank you very much.